Hello and welcome to an album a day, day 3. What are we on? 385. Wow. Going to my vinyl collection, my media, all those good things. Today we are back on the Uriah Heep pile of CDs that I got for the podcast. Really down to the last couple, guys. I think we've got 3 more to do. This one is, I have to say, probably one of my favorite Uriah Heep covers. There's certain ones that are classic, right? Demons and Wizards, Magician's Birthday, Salisbury. Those are wonderful covers. They're also part nostalgia, so I have to take that into account. But I love this one. I think it's elegant. I think it's beautiful. Very well done. If there were, I've seen these art pieces that you can get. They have one for Atari Adventure. In fact, it's the Gold Castle, and you can get like this little thing that goes on your wall. This would actually be kind of cool to have, I have to say. And I'm talking about Outsider. Love this cover. Absolutely love it. See if you can get it without the glare if possible. I don't know. Anyway, it's really cool. I don't have this on vinyl because it's fucking expensive. There was a recent auction. I think I talked about this for a couple of them. Outsider was not one of them, unfortunately. But yeah, I absolutely love this cover. That being said, we are on Icarus Records now for this one. So for this, here is the back, which kind of continues the picture. I really love the atmosphere in this, kind of like that. I smell like autumn leaves when I look at this. I just, it just reminds me of autumn, probably because of the way the tree is, but that could be winter as well. But yeah, it just, for some reason, I just smell like wet leaves when I look at this, and I love that smell. But we get a really nice, elegant book. It looks really good. I have to say, Icarus did a really good job taking over. They didn't slap their name all over everything like some other companies have. Isn't quite the same as the Sanctuary Midline, but definitely has some important stuff. Now, love that shot of Russell right there. And then the back of the book, we get that beautiful tree. So the CD itself is really nice, I have to say. A nice contrast because they've colorized now the guy that was on the cover. So here you have the cover, here you have like a more detailed version of him in a little bit of color, like the sun's come out and you've got some light shining on him, which is really cool. On the back here behind that, we have a really nice shot of the band, presumably at a concert or perhaps even a rehearsal space. Hard to tell, maybe just a shot that they set up in some parking garage, I don't know, but it looks nice. And then of course, like I said, we have that tree. But they really did a nice job with the packaging, I have to say, on this one. You get so used to one company, when another company takes over or issues their own version, you tend to worry that it's not going to be as good as quality, whether it's audio or book or whatever you're looking for in that package. But I have to say, Icarus did a really good job here. There are no bonus tracks on this one. There, again, may not have been any during this time. A lot of times bands were, when you were up to CDs, when you weren't necessarily forcing vinyl releases, you had the ability to just put however much you wanted. If you had 10 songs, you could do it. 15 songs, you could do it on a CD. Whereas an album, you were very limited. So you might have songs that don't fit. With CD, you're less likely to have that because you've got the room, as long as you finish the song and it's of that quality to go on the album. I think that's kind of the thing that you would get more bonus tracks is demo versions, things that they were working on. They're like, this isn't going to work for this album. Let's just stop working on it. Or we'll record a version of it to reference later or something like that. But as far as like specifically, like we couldn't fit this on the album, so it didn't get released. If it didn't end up on a B-side. So I don't think you're going to get through the CD era without vinyl release quite as many of the bonus tracks. That was one thing that was great about CDs when they came out, is that there was all this material that we didn't know existed and we now had access to from our favorite bands. So that was great. But there's some really good songs on here, guys. We open up with Speed of Sound. And I will say the only one thing, again, this could have been bigger and more readable. There's all this space here. Our second track is called 1 Minute. That kind of relates to the cover, obviously. You get that clock feeling here, even though it's not specifically a clock. You do get that feeling. Then we go to The Law. Track 4 is the title track, The Outsider. 5 is Rock the Foundation. 6 is anybody gonna help me? 7 is Looking at You. 8 is Can't Take That Away. 9 is Jesse. 10 is Kiss the Rainbow. And 11 is Say Goodbye. Beautiful song, by the way. Every one of these tracks, I don't remember if there were any that I didn't like in the moment. Not listened to this CD since I did the show. I just don't have the time to listen to music that I really wish I did, at least not right now. Once the double and triple podcasting slows down, I expect to be able to find a little more time at least to be able to do it. But even, my job requires a lot of focus. So I can't really even listen to music necessarily during the day while I'm at work. So it's really limiting when I can just sit and focus and enjoy music. And I don't really want to necessarily just have music on in the background either. I want to be able to enjoy what I'm listening to and really appreciate what I've got. So that being said, check it out, guys. Outsider, excellent album from Uriah Heep. We are winding down to our last few. How many more of these do we have? I don't have anything on order at the moment for vinyl or CD or anything else for that matter. But we've got, well, let's see, I did that one. So I'm going to say about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 15. So a couple more weeks of these, and I may pick up another one or two here. I saw a couple of deals that I'm kind of eyeing, so we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, you guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.